You ever get that sinking feeling when you finally splurge on a cheap carpet cleaner, only to watch it sputter on the first big job and leave the carpet looking worse than before? I've been there, and the frustration is real, especially when you're trying to keep a rental unit or a home office looking presentable for guests. That's why I spent a few evenings actually testing the Dapper commercial carpet and upholstery extractor, and I'm going to tell you whether it feels like a smarter buy or just another pricey gadget that gathers dust. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation most buyers have is whether a machine that looks like a piece of industrial equipment will actually fit into a regular garage or a small utility closet. The Dapper unit is a 120-volt, 2800-watt beast, so you can already tell it's not a handheld sprayer you'll stash on a shelf. The real question is, does that power translate into usable performance for a homeowner or a small-scale cleaning business? And does it justify the price tag? I set it up in my garage, ran the two separate power cords through a single circuit just to see how they behaved, and then tackled three very different scenarios: a high-traffic family room carpet, a set of upholstered dining chairs that had been through a pet season, and a stained office rug that had seen a coffee spill and a bit of ink. The first thing you notice is the dual tank system. There's a 3-gallon solution tank that feeds the cleaning head automatically, and a matching 3-gallon recovery tank that pulls the dirty water back in. In practice, that means you can work for about half an hour on a medium-sized carpet before you have to stop and dump the waste. When I was cleaning the family room carpet, the extractor kept a steady stream of solution, and the automatic injection meant I never had to pause and spray manually. The carpet's pile lifted noticeably after the first pass, and the built-in 56 CFM suction pulled up the grime without leaving a soggy mess. That's a strength you'll actually feel. The machine doesn't constantly stall or lose suction as the tank fills. The dual rotating brush head is where the deep cleaning claim gets put to the test. I ran it over a section of the carpet that had a visible coffee ring. The aggressive brushes spun in opposite directions, agitating the fibers while the extractor pulled the solution and the loosened soil away. After a couple of passes, the stain faded dramatically, and the surrounding area didn't get oversaturated. That's a practical win for anyone dealing with pet accidents or kitchen spills. However, the brush head is fairly heavy, and you can feel the motor working hard, especially on plush, high-pile carpets. On the office rug, a low-pile, tightly woven fabric, the brushes tended to chatter a bit, which left a faint swirl pattern if you went over the same spot repeatedly. So if your primary need is gentle cleaning of delicate rugs, you might want to reconsider. Steam is another feature that often feels like a marketing add-on, but Dapper's built-in heater pushes steam up to 198 F. I used the steam function on the upholstered dining chairs after vacuuming them. The steam helped lift pet hair embedded in the fabric and gave a quick sanitizing boost without soaking the cushions. The downside is that the steam takes about 3 minutes to reach temperature, and you have to keep the machine on a stable surface because the internal blower, rated at 440 CFM, creates a noticeable vibration. In a cramped apartment, that could be a nuisance, but in a garage or workshop it's manageable. Now, who should actually consider buying this machine? If you run a small cleaning service, manage multiple rental properties, or own a pet-friendly home with high-traffic carpet, the Dapper extractor gives you the power and capacity to handle jobs that would otherwise require a rental unit or a professional service call. The dual power cords are a thoughtful touch for commercial settings where you might have separate circuits for the motor and the heater, reducing the risk of tripping a breaker mid-job. The large tanks cut down on downtime, and the automatic detergent injection keeps the workflow smooth. On the flip side, if you're a casual homeowner who only needs to freshen up a runner or clean a few spills a month, this machine might be overkill. Its footprint is roughly the size of a small refrigerator, and you'll need a dedicated storage spot. The initial learning curve, especially getting used to the brush pressure and the timing of the steam, can be a bit steep if you've never handled a commercial extractor before. Also, the price point sits above many consumer-grade models, so the value proposition really hinges on volume of use. A practical weakness I ran into was the hose length. The solution and recovery hoses are about 25 feet each, which sounds generous, but the machine's own power cords also need to reach the outlet. In a larger space, you might end up with a tangled mess of cords and hoses, which can slow you.